Hey guys and girls, a lot of fools out there, as I said in my last videos. Fools and their money are very easily separated. There's lots of foolish people out there, lots of mediocre results people get, and there's always a high achiever in any sort of category of life, whether it be a sports person, whether it be an investor, whether it be a business person, whether it be a school teacher, whether it be a lawnmower. I'm just looking at lawns out the back of my window, the reflection of my glass. There's high achievers and low achievers, and as an property investor, as someone wants to be a high achiever and being able to achieve better results than the rest of the people out there, there's certain caliber of things that you need to understand and implement into your own property investing portfolio to protect yourself. So today I want to talk about some of the foolish things that property managers out there do whilst managing other people's properties. I'm just going to go through some of the things that I've seen over the years, which are really, really bad. My biggest pet hate is where I see property managers which work on behalf of the tenant and not on behalf of the owner. I've seen lots of these property managers out there, and they cost you money and potentially your financial independence. So if I look at my property portfolio, what I realize is that if I can tweak and refine things like any business, any profitable business, I always talk about treating your property investing like a business. You need to understand how the properties will ultimately serve their role in helping you get to retirement and improving your position. So looking at the cash flow and the numbers from that perspective, if you've got a real estate agent, a property manager, which generally in a real estate office, and this is something that I've had as a big gripe all over the years, is that real estate agents, they have this little crappy department in their office which is called property management. They just rent the properties, and it's sort of like you've got a property and you put it on ice for the next 5 to 10 years, and then when you decide to sell it, that's where the real estate agent pulls your property out and goes, yeah, cool, let's go sell it, put it on the market, or whatever the case may be. I look at property management very, very different, because they are the people that are managing my assets. I'm an investor. My assets need to be managed by someone that understands how to derive the best income out of it. So I do a monthly review on my own personal portfolio, as well as what we do for our clients to manage their properties. We do monthly reviews in order to see what properties can be tweaked. Not every month can you increase the rents, but if you can do it once a year across my portfolio, I look at where I can increase $10 here, $5 there. All those sort of numbers add up. So if you had a $5 return over 52 weeks of the year, there's an extra $260. You've got 5 of those properties, you're increasing your position. You can go buy yourself a new laptop, a new iPhone, have a week's holiday, whatever the case may be. So make sure that you've got a property manager which is proactive and their goals are aligned with your goals. The other aspect of it is communication. So there's lots of property managers out there that have poor communication with their landlords and their clients. If you have that, that becomes an issue, and you need to resolve that by going to someone that's actually got good communication. You want to have someone that's proactive. Your property manager needs to be proactive in order to get the best result for you. You want them to make sure that they're minimizing risks. I've had some very big horror stories. Recently, as of 2019, I had a property which is in regional Australia, hence why we rolled out Blink Property national this year. So we're managing properties nationally, because I had a property burned down and I lost $250,000. So that was the cost of a property manager that didn't have eye for detail. The property manager had been managing this property for 10 years. What happened is the real estate agent did not pay the annual insurance on the property, which they'd done for many, many years. They had money in their funds, they just kept dispersing it. I wasn't looking at the eye on the ball with that property. Within about 2 to 3 months afterwards, the property burnt down, and the property burnt down without any insurance. So now I've got to go and sue the real estate agent for their neglect and malpractice and malice that they've done, and somehow, hopefully, maybe get some money back in compensation for a house burning down. Some other things that I've had is where they've stuck on the tenant side. They're very proactive for tenants, so a tenant causes a trouble, and they actually go and try and side with the tenant. I had a really, really poorly managed property once many years ago where the tenant was a professional tenant, went to court every day, tried to understand the law, tried to sue me to try and get money out of me being the owner. So they said that the window had been broken into, didn't have window locks, the property didn't have window locks. How many properties don't have window locks out there? Tried to say that there was $9,500 worth of stuff being stolen, knowing that you can't sue for anything over $10,000, so just to keep it underneath. This tenant would never have seen $9,500 worth of money in their whole entire life go through their bank accounts, and they were professionally trying to take advantage of the landlord being myself. The real estate agent on this occasion had tried to negotiate with the tenant and came back to me saying, let's meet the tenant halfway at $5,000. And mate, I didn't do anything, nothing happened. And I had to physically step in, and this property wasn't in an area where my staff could manage, and I got my staff to look over the file. What we ended up doing is sending it to insurance, and they tried to counter sue, and they sorted it all out, and that's the importance of having insurance there. So you want to make sure that your property manager has skill set, has a brain, and who's looking after your actual investment from that perspective. If they have bad communication, they can sometimes ignore important things. They could bury their head in the sand. When it comes to a tenant problem, which could escalate to being a compensation payout, it could be someone getting hurt or malice. We've seen little things that haven't been conducted out there in the marketplace where people have physically died in properties due to being burnt alive in there or falling out windows and stuff like that. So compliance is very big when it comes to managing the property. So as I always say, there's two things that come from managing your assets. One is making sure that you don't have to spend too much time on that side of things, looking at the compliance, the day-to-day operations, the day-to-day management of it. You want to make sure that you've got 110% competence in that person or people looking after the property. And the other side of things, so minimising the risk, and the second part is maximising the return, so keeping the expenses down as low as possible and keeping the income up as high as possible. So you want to make sure that you're not dealing with a foolish real estate agent, because I believe that probably about 95% of the people out there in property management world I would never employ as a real estate agent myself. So just be very, very careful when you are managing your assets. These things, your properties, are what is going to help you retire, what is going to help you tell your boss where to go, and being able to generate a high cash flow from that side of things and minimising that risk should be every investor's top priority. So yeah, make sure that you don't have a foolish property manager. If you do need help managing your properties, I am an asset manager. I've got a hedge fund type setup with my landlords, where we try and play more of a proactive role in increasing that cash flow. If you do want me to personally review your property portfolio, send me an email at nathan@blinkproperty. That's Nathan @blink, BLINK, property.com.au. And send me a bit of a snapshot of where your properties are, what they are, where they're located, what sort of rent they currently get, what sort of attributes they've got, and I'll personally have a look at it myself, give you some feedback as to what I would be doing to tweak the property to be able to increase the cash flow, and so you can go off and earn more returns on your own personal property. So on that note, if you need help, reach out. If there's something you can tweak by getting rid of a foolish property manager or whatever, there is lots and lots of people out there that are costing lots of investors money. And the difference between retirement and obviously being stuck in your job, if you've got assets, is being able to get that income to a level where you can quit your job. So I'll leave it with you guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye for now.